And we're back. Hello, I'm Jake Light, gaming lawyer at your service. Back to Great Ace Attorney. And we are about to find a way to get out of this situation of being accused of murder. So let's go. We start from the left. Talk to this. Miss Pavlov, get out! Listen, I'm sorry that we snuck in here without your permission, but get out now! We just needed to investigate in here to help. Russian! Ugh, it's no use, she's not going to listen. I need to find someone who will. Is the detective! The guy. What the? What are you doing up there? Mr. Xiong? Naturally, I was analyzing what a weight of 20,000 rubles feels like on one's head. Have I not told you that as a detective, it is my business to know what other people do not? This isn't mere tomfoolery, my boy. Oh, no. Well, are you hanging around from that book before then? Isn't it obvious? To properly assess the weight of the 20,000 rubles, naturally. I wish to determine if it would bend that conceited-looking hook on the wall, so full of brag and bounce. Ugh, I never know whether to take this man seriously or not. Ah, you again, the great detective. Ah, Inspector, I confess I've been looking for you. I have something to report to you most urgently. Well, you might try looking for me somewhere other than a hook on the wall next time. What is to report? Speak. An urgent report from a great detective can mean one thing. But one thing, yes. The case of the curious murder that took place last night here on his vessel, the steamship Buria, has been solved. By me, naturally. What? Really? Yes. I've eliminated all other possibilities. No other explanations exists. So, allow me to eliminate all your minds. For I am about to reveal my great detective's greatly admired Great Deduction to the case. Again, we're gonna do that again? No, or not? Ah, you have solved it? Even Hedgehog understands this case. We all knew who was responsible for killing student boy this morning, when we found criminal in the wardrobe. It is this doorway, and he has handcuffs to prove it. I didn't do it. The trouble is, there doesn't appear to be anyone else who could have killed the victim. Because as everyone knows, the cabin door was bolted shut from the inside. That means the culprit must be someone who was inside the cabin. Wrong, Yes, it's what's called a locked room mystery in detective stories. Duh, but lock the room, that is point. The room was locked. Well, I can't deny that. There's no way the boat could have been drawn across from outside the cabin. You are all quite mistaken. The cabin next door is not a so-called locked room at all. What? Oh yes, there is another entrance. An entrance used last night by the culprit in order to gain access to the cabin despite the bolted door. What other entrance? We never discovered one. Why, it gapes open-mouthed at you even as we speak. The ventilator, man. The ventilator? Gahahaha. You think this is funny? I cannot even put my arm through that hole. That's because your arms are as thick as tree trunks. You're suggesting that the culprit entered and left the victim's cabin through that tiny opening? It's not possible. Ah, but it is. And last night, the victim even witnessed the intruder in the act of passing through the ventilator. Mr. Sholmes, do you mean? Are you referring to the words Kazuma-sama wrote in his diary? 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling. 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. Precisely, my dear madam. But what does it mean? What is this speckled band? The answer to that particular conundrum is in this very cabin. Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing? There is a distinct element of danger, but fear not, I am ready. What I am about to expose for you all to see will shock you to your cores. Behold! Ooh, what the hell? Speckled band. Allow me to introduce you all to the band, the speckled band. A snake? Indubitably. It's not really that shocking. Mr. Sholmes, just one thing. Pray, what troubles you? Well, that snake isn't really speckled, is it? It looks more stripy, would you say? Yes, you're right. I think in this case you'll have called it... What does speckled mean? The striped band, wouldn't you? Heh, heh, heh. You both see and observe with distinction. However, do you not think that is precisely the trap into which the culprit wishes you to fall? Oh my goodness, really? It's a trap? How exactly? I think perhaps it is time I explain the intricacies of my train of thought. Are you ready, Miss Pavlova? I'm sorry for the young man who died, but that is all. His death is nothing to do with me. This whole thing is nothing to do with me. There are two conclusions I have drawn from the facts. Number one, last night, your friend infiltrated the victim's cabin. And number two, that same friend was responsible for the victim losing his life. No. She's turned as white as a bowl of rice again. Xiong must be right. He's hit the nail on the head. This young woman's friend killed Mr. Asuki. Okay. It looks like he can't speak with a snake coiled around his head. I would advise as little movement as possible, Seaman. You wouldn't want the fangs of that long friend in your neck. So everyone, let us begin. Sherlock Holmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. The Greek Deduction is the... Oh my god, I have to do this again. Bloody hell. Intruder's identity. Miss Pavlova, moments ago you claimed the following. His death is nothing to do with me. This whole thing is nothing to do with me. Yet you cannot deceive yourself. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, your aching heart smarts with pain. And it is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death. So we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole into the victim's cabin on that portentous night? Why, naturally, it was a friend with which you boarded this vessel, was it not? Ah, as I suspected, another telltale glance. Without doubt, your friend is the writhing serpent we see before us. And yet, the fact leaves us in a quandary. The victim's written observations on the night in question tell of a speckled band, whereas regrettably, these specimens' markings do not fit that description in any way. What explanation can we give? Can we then give, pray? What was this sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night? No, don't look at me. This has nothing to do with any of this. Oh, but it does. You have the answer to this quandary even now, hidden behind your back. Yes, that which you are trying, but failing to conceal, can only be the snake's sloughed skin. Evidently, after such subtle and horrible crime, this most deadly friend of yours, she had shed its original skin. No, I don't know what you are talking about. Last night, through the ventilator visible in this cabin, your then speckled friend slithered next door. Using the bell cord to the other side of the breach, the serpent silently descended into the victim's quarters. In the dim light, it appeared to the young gentleman who was about to lose his life as a speckled band. In summary, the nature of his friend of yours, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a rare breed of snake whose markings change even each time it slows its skin. That's a stretch. A snake so dreadful you can only imagine it would be found in the deepest depths of India. A beloved speckled snake. Topic 2. How Mr. Asuki died. Moving on, we come to the heart of the matter, the grim demise of the victim. How did this young man lose his life, and why? According to the data of which I have been apprised, it would appear there were no visible signs of injury. In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by a terrible venom. Now, if we take that as fact, we can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence to affirm it at the scene of the crime. Oh no, could that be? Yes, an examination of the deceased's body will prove the cause of death conclusively. Excuse me. The almost but not quite imperceptible puncture wounds left by the venomous fangs will seal the truth. Yes, the vestiges of the snake bite delivered by your terrifying friend. This makes no sense. Of course it doesn't make sense, it's Herlock Sholmes. There is no point feigning ignorance, Miss Pavlova. After the incident, you endeavored to hide everything, didn't you? But now your involuntary glance betrays the hiding place you chose. That's right, you hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that traveling case. When we first met in this cabin, it came to my attention that your case moved periodically. Your serpent assassin was restless inside, no doubt. You don't. It is telling that the victim made note of a low whistling sound that he heard minutes before his end. This was your signal, was it not? The sound you had used to train your serpent friend. To train? Indeed. You'd put the serpent through this ventilator and wait. After a period, you'd summon it back with a whistle. You couldn't know if the animal had done its duty, so you would listen for signs of life next door. If the victim appeared not to have been dispatched, you'd release the snake once more. Do you deny this snake has undergone such training? It's not true. Of course it's not true. Having slithered through the ventilator and down the bell cord, the creature needed only to sink its fangs in once, and its venom would course through the victim's vein, ending his existence forever. That is the true nature of the speckled band that took the poor young man's life. There can be no doubt my logic is infallible. Yeah, no. We're gonna waste our time changing all of that great deduction again. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of the speckled band. No. Why? Miss Pavlova has trained her pet snake as a killing machine. Down the floor, you observe a source of milk. The promise of food is the key to training any creature. Incredible! You solved the mystery. Amazing! Your great deduction really lives up to its name. I see now why Sherlock Holmes has become such a household name. My dear man, it was nothing remarkable. As the Russians say, I could have done it with one left hand. Really? No, I don't think so. Could I venture an opinion, Mr. Xiong? But of course, what's on your mind? It's just about your deductions before. Some things don't quite make sense to me. I welcome questions as to my method, and will answer both loudly and proudly. Oh, well, good. First of all, snakes are egg-laying creatures, part of the reptile family. You are well informed, madam. And reptiles, don't drink milk. Ah! It's really only mammals that like to drink milk, you see. So, I'm not sure it would be possible to train a snake using milk as a reward. No matter, no doubt Miss Pavlova used some other trick to encourage the pet to do her bidding. Milk was merely an example. The logic holds. Well, there is something else. Snakes have no ears. Ah. Yes, so I'm not sure it would really be possible to signal to a snake by whistling. But madame, what of the tales are from Arabia? Have you not heard of snakes that dance to the sounds of a flute? I think perhaps the performers play their music in time with the snake's natural movements. Oh, I see. No hands, no feet, no ears. These creatures are so inept as to be practically useless. Don't take it out on the snakes, Mr. Holmes. There's one other thing. You have more? Snakes use the scales on their bellies to propel themselves. So, I'm not really sure that a snake could manage to climb a flat bell cord like the ones in his cabins. Then it should try harder. Please, don't be angry with me, Mr. Xiong. The point is, yeah, you see, this guy sucks. Even if the snake had gone through the ventilator to the next door cabin, it could have come back with help. What I'm trying to say is that there are a number of reasons why it's difficult to imagine that the snake could have had a part in this. I think we need to step in and help again, Mr. Naruto. Yes, of course. Oh no, you don't mean. Yes, we need to modify Mr. Xiong's latest deductions and turn them into great ones they ought to be. I had a feeling that was coming. Alright, let's give it a try. Just what I was waiting for, Mr. Naruto. Yes, right. So, cast your eyes down to your wrists again. What? You've done it again. Your handcuffs are gone. Where did they go? Fear not, I shall see they are restored after our work is done. I really wish you'd leave them off. Now everyone, let us begin. Sherlock Holmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning. Spectacular. Alright, let's do this. Let's just do this, man. Do it quick. Yeah, we can skip all this stuff now. Damn, it's hard to do his voice. Too annoying. Recall stories and aching heart. It does have a pain expression on her face. That's true. She looks as though her son's death is weighing heavily on her mind. But you're not sure Mr. Xiong has read her quite correctly, is that it? Could there be some other way to interpret her expression then? Let's take a moment and really look very closely at Miss Pavlova. Aching heart. Oh, claw scratch. Naruto-san, look! It looks like a very painful wound. It looks like a scratch made by some kind of small animal, and fairly recently too. Well, whatever scratched her doesn't appear to be around here. It's this! Yes, when you recall those horrid events, that claw scratch marks with pain. Smarts with pain, okay. Indeed, and simple observation reveals that the wound is fresh. Miss Pavlova, did you in fact receive that scratch sometime last night? Ah. When I think about the young man who died next door, I feel so sad. And when I'm sad, the pain from this wound is worse. And it is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death. So we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole into the blah blah blah? Okay, it is the same. This is wrong. It's not the writhing serpent. Was made by his friend of hers, doesn't it? Except snakes don't have claws, do they? No. No, they don't. They don't even have hands or feet on which claws might grow. Well then, if that snake isn't her pet, what is? What's the true identity of these friends of her? We should follow her gaze, Naruto-san. That's where we'll find her answer. Her gaze is here. Obvious. Why isn't this shown in the first place? Ah, look at the photograph in this frame. This must be something Miss Pavlova brought with her when she ran away. She is exceptionally beautiful, isn't she? Yes, that's true, but personally, it's the little black creature she's holding that's caught my eye. Maybe we better take a closer look at this. Little kitty. Look at that little cat Miss Pavlova is cuddling here. Oh, what a cute little kitten. It could vie with you, couldn't it? Naruto-san, what a blackest outfit. A black kitten. And from the look of it, of this picture at least, Miss Pavlova seems very attached to it. Present! Ka-ching! Without doubt, your friend is little kitten we see before us. Yes, the scratch on the back of your hand makes that abundantly clear. Oh no. The whereabouts of this black kitten isn't clear, but what is clear is that you brought the animal with you when you ran away, didn't you? Ah! Darka is my best friend. I couldn't leave her behind. Darka. Is it really... Is it Russian word for black or what? Or dark? Darka would appear to be a Russian blue. And yet, that fact leaves us in a quandary. Okay, it is a bloody blah. Where's it gonna be? Alright. These specimen's markings do not fit the description in any way. What explanation can we then give, pray? What was this sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night? No, don't look at me. This has nothing to do with any of this. But it does. You would answer the couple, blah blah. Even behind your back. But there, yes, that which you are trying but failing to conceal, blah blah blah. No. Did you see that? She just took something out of her pocket and hid it behind her. If she just left it in her pocket, no one would have ever known. Oh yes, boys like that are Mr. Xiong's specialty. He's ever so cleverly forced her to reveal something. I thought deduction was specialty, but making me believe that was a ploy too. Anyway, I find it hard to believe that's the skin of a snake. In which case, that's what is Miss Pavlova's hiding behind her back. What is that? I don't think so. Well, it is speckled and it is a band, but what is it? It seems to be a soft and fluffy, a long piece of cloth of some sort. And it looks like a handle at one end. I think it may be a cat's toy. This sort is coming in the West apparently. Oh, is that a toy for cats? Cats like to chase the band around and paw at it. Kittens in particular love that sort of play. You only need to wave it in front of them and they pounce to catch it. I can attest to that. I have 4 semi-stray cats that does that. Haha! That sounds positively adorable. It is. Cat's toy. Present! Yes, the thing you are trying, but failing to conceal is a cat's toy. Precisely, and the true nature of the now infamous speckled band. Ah! And it was this toy that you dangled through the damn ventilator. You waved it around, I presume. Naturally, the victim could not fail to notice it. But why? For what reason? My dear boy, there can only be one answer to that. After her feline friend disappeared through the ventilator into the neighboring cabin, Miss Pavlova attempted to use the speckled cat's toy to incite the creature to return. Ah! In summary, the nature of his friend of Miss Pavlova's, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a blithesome Russian breed of cat by the name of Darka. Kiak! Kiak! A truly troublesome feline, young Darka. It is proving to be, he must be caged once found. You will forgive us for borrowing the photograph of your pet, Miss Pavlova. I hope the cat is okay. That is all I'm gonna say. It was after I gave her her food last night. That's when it happened. She scratched the back of my hand and then ran up the bell cord. Before I could do anything, she had disappeared through the ventilator. Darka, she is so naughty. Alright, topic number 1, done. So we have second topic. Right? But we have run out of time. Yes, it's that time again. Alright, we'll see what happens next. Probably more. My conclusion always is that it's just a waste of time. It's a red herring. We'll find out way after this mini game. So thanks for watching. I hope you are enjoying this playthrough. I am okay with it so far. I just want to move towards the trial, you know. Even though as a lawyer I understand that it's not how trial works, or how court works, or how any of this legal system works. But yes, I hope we will end this investigation soon. So take care, stay hopeful, but be critical. Bye.